Good evening, Bhavishya. Good evening, Swati.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, we have to continue with this one, right? Question number 7. Or we finish this.
We finished question number 7, ma'am. We have to see the next
Okay.
question.
All right, fine. So see here, in the parallelogram given below, find x, y, z. So the figure given here is a parallelogram, and we need to find the values of x, y, and z. X is an angle, y is an angle, z is also an angle. So you'll have to find the magnitudes of these angles x, y, and z. Now, you can see that this figure is a parallelogram, and the diagonals, they bisect. See, in a parallelogram, the diagonals bisect each other, and they bisect at right angles. See, it's 90 degrees. The diagonals, they meet at right angles. They meet at right angles. See, one very important thing is, see, now when this is 90 degrees, this is also 90 because vertically opposite angles are equal. And linear paraxium, so this will be 90 because 90 plus 90 only is 180. Linear paraxium, straight line, the sum of the, see here, this angle also will be 90 because sum of the angles on a straight line is 180. And then vertically opposite angles. This is 90, so this is also 90. This is 90, this is also 90. So when two lines are perpendicular to each other, they meet at right angles. All the angles formed here, there are 4 angles formed. No, all the 4 angles will be 90 degrees. All the 4 angles will be 90 degrees. Now, this is a parallelogram in which the diagonals, they bisect. Why am I using the term bisect? Because it's a parallelogram. Then the diagonals will bisect each other. But here it is at right angle. So this parallelogram is a rhombus. This parallelogram is a rhombus. This parallelogram is a rhombus because the diagonals, they bisect at right angles, 90 degrees. See, this is one diagonal, this is the other diagonal. Where do they meet at this point? And here you see 90 degrees. That means they meet at right angles. That means they meet at right angles. Where do they meet? This is one diagonal, this is the other diagonal. Where do they meet? At this point? The angle formed here is 90 degrees. So that means they meet at right angles. See, this is also 90. This is 90. All the angles are 90 degrees. Because this angle is 90 because linear paraxium, straight line. If this is 90 degrees, this is also 90. 90 plus 90, 180. Vertically opposite angles are equal. So 90 here. And again, vertically opposite angles are equal. This is 90. Just a second, children. Yeah, children. All right, so this parallelogram is a rhombus. So how do we know it's a rhombus? Because the diagonals bisect. Why are we using the term bisect? Because it's a parallelogram. So the diagonals will bisect. And they bisect at right angles. See here? So this one is a rhombus. This one is a rhombus. This is just for your information. This is just for your information. This is a rhombus. Okay. Now, what's the measure of angle x? What's the measure of x, children?
90 degree, ma'am.
90 degrees. Vertically opposite angles are equal. 90 degrees. What is it? Vertically opposite angles are equal. When two lines intersect like this, if this angle is 60 degrees, this also will be 60 because they're vertically opposite. And if this is 120, this is also 120. Vertically opposite angles are equal. When are vertically opposite angles formed? When any two lines meet like this. But they need not meet at right angles. When two lines intersect like this, they can even intersect like this, like this. Then vertically opposite angles are equal. This angle is equal to this angle. This angle is equal to this angle. Vertically opposite angles are equal. So x is 90 degrees. What about y?
Ma'am, we should use angles and property. By angles and property.
Angle sum property. Angle sum property.
And by doing that, we get 60 degrees.
Yeah, by angle sum property. By angle sum property, y is equal to
60, ma'am.
60 degrees. What about z?
Ma'am, Z is also 60 degree.
Z is also
60 degree.
why?
Ma'am, because alternate angles are
Ma'am, because they're
Alternate interior angles. So see here, because it's a parallelogram, so opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are parallel. Okay. Now, so these sides are parallel. Now see here, parallel line, transversal, parallel line. See, it's like this: parallel line, transversal, parallel line. Alternate interior angles are equal. This angle is equal to this angle. That means there is y here. There is z here. Y is equal to z. Alternate interior angles are equal. Alternate interior angles are equal. So since y is 60 degrees, z is also 60 degrees. Is that clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Next one. So what property, Swati, what property of a parallelogram will you use here to find the values of x and y? See, x and y can also need not, represent angles. So here x and y, they don't represent angles. You can see it. They are part of the sides. So x and y, the letters x, y, z, a, b, c, d can represent angles, or it can be a part of the sides. Okay, so 3x. What is 3x? 3x is the expression that represents the length of the side SP. What if somebody asks you, what is this 3x? 3x is an expression that represents the length of the side SP. What is 3y plus 1? 3y plus 1 is an expression that represents the length of the side PQ. 3y plus 1 is an expression that represents the length of the side PQ. So x and y are a part of the expressions here that represents the lengths of the sides. Yes, Vati, what property will you use to find the values of x and y?
Ma'am, we can use the property which states that the opposite sides of a parallelogram is equal, ma'am. So
Very
3y plus 1 will be 20, will equal to 28, and 3x will be equal to 18. Ma'am.
Okay, very good. Correct, Bhavishya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the properties in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. Opposite angles are equal. So 3y plus 1 is equal to 28. On solving that, you get y is 9 and 3x is equal to 18. 3x is equal to 18. Opposite sides are equal. So 3x is equal to 18. Opposite sides are equal. So 3y plus 1 is equal to 28. On solving, we get y is 9, x is 6. All right. Yeah. So Bhavishya, here also x and y, they do not represent angles. They are part of the expressions that represent the lengths of the diagonals, AC and BD. Yes, Bhavishya, what property of a parallelogram will you use to find the values of x and y?
Diagonals bisect each other.
Diagonals bisect each other. Okay, I would like to include one more step here. What you can include here is, you can just write PS, the side PS is equal to the side RQ. So PS is 3x, oh no, this is not, sorry. Yeah, the side PS is equal to the side RQ. And here the side PQ is equal to the side SR. So that's why we're equating. You can just include this in your notebook also.
Done, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so in like this, Bhavishya, I want to say, see, like when we say the property is opposite sides are equal, we say PS is equal to RQ and PQ is equal to SR. Similarly, tell me, you said you mentioned the property correctly. Diagonals bisect each other. That property is correct. But how do you express that in this figure? Yes, Bhavishya, how will you express? See, like we say here, no, PS is equal to QR. PQ is equal to RS. Like that I want. Yes.
OB and OD or bisect diagonal.
I don't want English. I want only maths. I don't want English now. You told me the property correctly. Diagonals bisect each other. Now, in mathematical language, tell me what it is.
Y plus 7 and is equal to 20, ma'am.
You're correct, but before that, I am expecting something. You're right. Y plus 7 is equal to 20. Before that, what is it? How do you say y plus 7 is equal to 20?
OB is equal to OD, ma'am.
Very good. OD, that's what I want. The diagonals bisect each other. Now, in the diagonal is BD, right? What are the two parts of BD?
OB and OD, ma'am.
OB and OD. Since the diagonals bisect each other, OB will be equal to OD. Which is the other diagonal?
OC and OA, ma'am.
Which is the other diagonal? Which is the other diagonal, ma? Swati, which is the other diagonal?
AC is another diagonal, ma'am.
AC. Which are the two parts of AC?
AO and OC, ma'am.
AO and OC. Now AO is equal to OC because in a parallelogram, diagonals bisect each other. Okay. Yeah, you also know it, Bhavishya. So something did not allow you to say correctly. No problem. Now do you get it? Tell me both, Bhavishya, now. Which are the diagonals? Which are the diagonals? Name the diagonals.
OB is equal to OD.
You're not answering my question. If I ask you your name, you're telling me your sister's name. Name the diagonals.
AC and BD or type.
AC and
BD, ma'am.
BD. These are the two diagonals. Now, which is the midpoint of AC?
AO and OC.
You know, Bhavishya, if you were in the classroom, Bhavishya, which is the midpoint of AC?
O, ma'am.
Oh, which is the midpoint of BD?
O, ma'am.
Oh, now, which are the two equal parts of AC? Which are the two equal parts of AC?
OC and OA, ma'am.
OA and OC. OA is equal to OC. Which are the two equal parts of BD?
OB and OD, ma'am.
OB and ODC, you got it. OB is equal to OD. Very good, very good. So, Swati, continue. You're right, Bhavishya. Very good. Swati, continue. So, how do you work this?
Since if the two equal halves of the diagonal is equal, ma'am, so we say that 16 equals x plus y or x plus y equals 16, ma'am.
So, OC is equal to OA. So, x plus y is equal to 16. Correct, correct. Then?
And then OB equals OD, ma'am.
Okay.
So so y plus 7 equals 20.
Very good. Next. How do you find x and y?
First we find the value of value of y, ma'am, by transposing.
Correct. First, we should find the value of y because here in this equation, we have x and y. You cannot find any of them. You can neither find x nor find y. You cannot find x or y. So you should solve this one. There's only one variable here. So solve this. It's okay. We have written it second. That's okay. We'll solve this one. So y is equal to 20 minus 7, 13. Now, x plus y is equal to 16. Yes,
X
Swati?
13 equals 16, ma'am.
Is equal to 16. So x is equal to 16 minus 13, which is 3. Very good. All right. So this is how we find the values of x and y. Very good. I think I've written the same thing here. Yeah. Yes. Yes, this is, I think, Swati's turn again. No, Bhavishya. Yes, Bhavishya. RISK and CLUE. RISK and CLUE are parallelograms. Find X. Where is RISK? This is a parallelogram, RISK. And then this is the other parallelogram. Yeah. So Bhavishya, what property of a parallelogram can we use here to find X?
Ma'am, adjacent angles are supplementary.
Adjacent angles are supplementary. Very good. Adjacent angles are supplementary. That's great. Yes. So now we have 4 angles in RISK. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, we have 4 angles in RISK. Yeah, which are the RISK? Swati, which are the name all the pairs of adjacent angles in RISK? Swati, please name all the 4 pairs of adjacent angles in the parallelogram RISK. You're not there, Swati?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay. Yes, Swati, please tell me, name all the 4 pairs of adjacent angles in RISK.
Ma'am, RK.
Okay, RK. No, go in this order. No, RISK. Go in this order. Angle
Yes,
R
ma'am.
and angle I. Then
Angle I and angle S.
angle I and angle S.
Angle S and angle K.
Angle S and angle K.
Angle K and angle R, ma'am.
Angle K and angle R. Very good. Angle K and angle R. Very good. Now, Bhavisha, please tell me which pair are you taking? This is the first pair. Let me call this the first pair, second pair, third pair, and the fourth pair. Which pair are you using? You said the properties in a parallelogram, adjacent angles are supplementary. Which angles are you going to take here? Fast, Bhavisha. R and I and S, S and K, K and R.
Ma'am, K and R, ma'am.
K and R. Okay. Then what will you do?
Ma'am,
Why don't you take something else? Why don't you take something else?
Ma'am, because R and I we are not having any angles, ma'am. And for I and S also we are not having angles. For S and K we are having angles, ma'am. Since we have to find R, we can find the answers easily.
Okay. What is the measure of angle R? Yeah, quickly. What's the measure of angle R?
Ma'am, angle R is 60 degree, ma'am.
60. Next what? What's your next move? After R is 60?
Ma'am, angle S is opposite angle, so S is also 60 degree, ma'am.
Very good. Very good.
I
Okay.
is I is the supplement. I mean, I and K are opposite angles, so I is also 120 degree, ma'am.
But why do you need to find I?
Ma'am, because in parallelogram we should find all the sides, ma'am.
All the angles. Use the terms correctly. Not all the sides, all the angles. But why should you find all the angles? Let's just ask Swati. Yes, Swati?
if we find angle S, ma'am, and angle E, so that we can use the angle sum property to find angle X.
Yeah. So like that, you should, that's what you should get an idea. So how to find X? How to find X? To find X, we can use the triangle. See here. You need to plan and then execute your plan. So the thing is, this one, the small thing, this one is a triangle. This is a triangle. And you have to find angle X in this triangle. To find angle X, you have to find this angle and this angle. You'll have to find this angle and this angle. If you know two angles of a triangle, you can find the third angle using the angle sum property. Yes or no, Bhavishya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so we have a triangle here, and X is an angle in the triangle. To find X, we need to find the measures of angles E, this one, E and S. And you can find S, Bhavishya, using this, no, see here, using this. S and K are supplementary angles. You can find S straight away from this. Or as you said, find R 60 degrees and then you can say opposite angles are equal. Instead, you can use this directly. S and K, this K and S, they are adjacent angles. They're supplementary. So this one is 60. This is 60. And then, Swati, how do you find E? How do you find angle E?
Ma'am, I can't hear you.
Why you can't hear me?
Yes, ma'am, now you're audible.
Yeah, how do you find angle E?
Ma'am, angle, I mean, parallelogram CLUE is a parallelogram, ma'am. So the opposite angles will be equal, ma'am. So if L equals 70 degree, then E will also be 70 degrees, ma'am.
Correct. This is 70 because in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. Now, so Bhavishya, how do you find X? Bhavishya, how do you find X?
Ma'am, for that E plus S plus X is equal to 180, ma'am. And we should minus the numbers
So
with
like this, X plus 60 degrees plus 70 degrees is equal to
180 degree, ma'am.
180 degrees. Then X plus
Ma'am, X plus 60 is equal to 180.
130 degrees is equal to 180.
Ma'am, when we are minusing the terms, we got 50 degree as answer, ma'am.
Yeah, X is equal to 50 degrees. Correct. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So first, the thing is the idea. So in this triangle, we need to find the measure of angle X. Okay, so we'll find this angle. This angle can be easily found because in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So this is 70. Okay, so the one angle we found in the triangle. Now the other angle. Now these two angles are adjacent angles. These two angles are adjacent angles. They are adjacent angles in the parallelogram RISK. RISK, S and K are adjacent angles. So this is 70 degrees because opposite angles are equal. This is 60 degrees because adjacent angles are supplementary. So then we find X using angle sum property. All right. All right. I already shared the answers, children. Correct? Swati, did you
Yes,
complete the diagrams? Yeah, Bhavishya, your work was very good. You had completed it neatly. Swati had also completed, but she did not, copy the diagrams. And Swati, you had just, you just worked it in a hurry, because you wanted to submit. That was another thing I saw from your work. It was in a hurry. It was just done in a hurry in order to submit your work. You had some of the school tasks to be done. You should have told me and excuse yourself when the diagrams were not there. It was not expected from a very studious, disciplined child like you. Yes or no, Swati? You're very obedient. studious, disciplined. So is Bhavishya. Yes or no, Swati? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so in future, if you have some task to be completed, but you're occupied with your school work, please let me know and take some more time to complete it in the right way. Let's not hurry. It's not an imposition. It's not a punishment. You're learning through, completing the assignment. So do let me know if you're occupied with something else so that you can take more time and complete it. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes. Bhavisha, you remember long back you had asked me this question as a doubt, no? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now tell me, Bhavisha. The question is MNOP a trapezium? What is a trapezium? Okay, let me explain this. Okay. What is a trapezium? A trapezium is a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides is equal. If both the pairs of opposite sides are equal, it's a parallelogram. If none of the opposite sides are equal, it's a kite. Remember, we started quadrilaterals by understanding the different types, right? The broad classification: kite, trapezium, and parallelogram. Kite is a quadrilateral in which no pair of opposite sides are parallel. Kite is a quadrilateral in which no pair of opposite sides are parallel. Trapezium is a quadrilateral in which exactly one pair of opposite sides, only one pair of opposite sides is parallel. Then it's a trapezium. If both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Now you will have to show that, sorry, the question is MNOP a trapezium? So how do you prove if it is a trapezium? How do you prove it's a trapezium? You should show that one pair of opposite, that's the definition. What is the definition of a trapezium? Now, if I ask you if is 5 an even number or an odd number? Is 5 an even or an odd number? So we know the definition. An odd number is not divisible by 2. An even number is divisible by 2. A number that is divisible by 2 is even. A number that's not divisible by 2 is odd. We know the definition. So we say 5 is odd because it's not divisible by 2. When we say not divisible, not exactly divisible, we mean. Now don't say 5 by 2 is 2.5, it is divisible. When we say divisible, exactly divisible. That is, you cannot make equal groups of 2's using 5. Using 5, you cannot make equal groups of 2's. So like 2 chocolates, then there's one left. You cannot make equal groups of 2's. 5, so the definition of an even and odd number. A number that is divisible by 2 is an even number. A number that is not divisible by 2 is an odd number. So when you are asked this question, is 8 even or odd? You immediately say 8 is even. Why? Because it's divisible by 2. So you're using the definition. But now it's very, very easy for you. So you're not even using the definition. When you look at the number, you know. But when we just learned it in, 4th or 5th standard, you think for some time before you actually answer. So now you know it. You don't check if it is divisible by 2. When you just look at the number, you know, yeah, it is even or it is odd. Yeah. Similarly, always use the definition. Is this one a trapezium? So what's the definition of a trapezium? If a trapezium is a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides is parallel. So you need to check in this figure if one pair of opposite sides is parallel. If one pair of opposite sides is parallel, then it's a trapezium. If it is a trapezium, one pair of opposite sides is parallel. If one pair of opposite sides is parallel, then it is a trapezium. Okay, so now 100 plus 80 is 180. Now look at this figure, some line. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah, look at this figure. It's too light. Okay. Yeah, some line. Just because they look parallel, you should not say this is parallel to this, children. Just because you feel like, yeah, these two are parallel. No, because see, it goes on like this, it goes on like this, they'll not meet. No, it's not like that. You cannot just look at it and say, yeah, they're parallel. You should justify that it is parallel. So some line transversal some line. See, you can just produce it if you don't understand. See here, you can just produce the lines. Produce the lines and produce a transversal. So you can see this, children. It's like this. Two lines intersected by a transversal. Here we have 100 degrees and here we have 80 degrees. And 100 plus 80 is 180. Co-interior angles are supplementary. See, by the position, they are co-interior angles. Whether the angles are, whether the lines are parallel or not, these angles are co-interior angles. I told you the other day. Whenever two lines are intersected by a transversal, the angles here and here are co-interior angles. The angles here and here are co-interior angles. They are co-interior angles. Whether the lines are parallel or not parallel, they are co-interior angles. Now, when they are supplementary, the lines are parallel. If they are not supplementary, the lines are not parallel. Okay, so now see here, these are the two lines. These are the two lines intersected by this transversal. And we see that the co-interior angles formed are supplementary. So the lines are parallel. Which lines are parallel? This line, this is the transversal. This is the transversal. This line is parallel to this line. This line is parallel to this line. So that means MN is parallel to PO. So in the quadrilateral MNOP, MN is parallel to PO because co-interior angles are supplementary. So the lines are parallel. So MNOP is a trapezium. Name the parallel sides MN and PO. Yes, Bhavishya, I want you to go through the answer and tell me if you really understood it now.
Yes, ma'am.
Swati, you too, please acknowledge if you understood. Hi, Kritika. I did not know that you have joined the meeting. Swati, you shared the link with her, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. No, Kritika did not confirm. That is why I did not share the link. You're interested in joining, Kritika?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, fine. I'll put your name in the group. You will get the link from the next class. Okay.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Yes, children, go through this and
Ma'am,
yeah.
ma'am, in that second one, MNO and ONO.
Hi, Bhavishya, I think you're not using your headset. No, otherwise, you normally are audible. It's very clear. Even Swati these days. Normally, Swati's voice and Bhavishya is also always clear. Why? What happened these days? Yes, Swati. I'm sorry, Bhavishya.
Is it audible?
Yeah. Not always. Earlier, there was no problem with your audio, but I don't know these days. It's like sometimes good, sometimes bad. Yes, Bhavishya, you wanted to ask something.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
In that NO with the lines MN and OT or the supplement.
You want me to explain that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's how we write. So see here. What is NO? NO is a transversal, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
See, what is a transversal? If a line intersects two or more lines, it's called a transversal. That's all. If supposing there are like some 5 lines like this, and there is one line going like this is the transversal. This one is a transversal. A transversal is a line that intersects 2 or more lines. That's all. 1, 2, 3 lines like this. And there is one line going like this. This one is called the transversal because it intersects this line, and this line. So here NO is a transversal. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Which are the lines? Which lines does NO intersect?
PO and MN.
PO and MN. So you must, and which are the co-interior angles formed as a result of this intersection? As a result of these two lines intersected by a transversal, these are the co-interior angles formed. Name them, name the angles. Name the angle. Yeah.
MN and PN, ma'am.
Bhavishya, angles are named using one letter or three letters. What is this two letters? An angle has two arms.
Ma'am,
Name this angle. Name this angle. What do you call? How do you name this angle? Angle?
angle N, ma'am.
Angle N, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Using three letters?
M and O, ma'am.
M and no. All this you should be very sure. How do you name this angle?
PON, ma'am.
PON. What's the other way of calling this angle PON?
Angle O, ma'am.
Okay, another way, angle O. Another way?
NO, ma'am.
Huh?
NOP, ma'am.
NOP. NOP. What is this angle also called? ONM. ONM. So anyways, you can write. Now, how do you put it? See here. These two angles are formed because this transversal intersects this line and this line. That's what we've written here. That's what we've written here. This angle and this angle, they are formed because this transversal intersects this line and this line. So how do you put it? Angle MNO and angle PON are co-interior angles made by the transversal NO with the lines MN and PO. And the co-interior angles are supplementary meaning and the co-interior angles are supplementary. These two angles are co-interior angles made by this transversal with the lines MN and PO and are supplementary meaning and the co-interior angles, they are supplementary. If the co-interior angles formed are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. Which are the lines MN and PO? They are parallel. Now in the quadrilateral, one pair of opposite sides is parallel. So MNOP is a trapezium because it is satisfying the definition of a trapezium. It satisfies the definition of a trapezium. One pair should be parallel. So it's a trapezium because one pair of opposite sides is parallel. And which are the parallel sides? MN and PO. Is it fine? Kritika? Yeah. Bhavishya, good?
Yes.
Okay. Kritika, able to follow? Okay, not able to get any response from Kritika. Okay. Swati, understood?
Yes, ma'am, understood.
All right. This is the next one. Yeah, in the trapezium, so now this is a trapezium. In the trapezium given below, this one is given to be a trapezium. AB is parallel to BC. AB is parallel to BC. AB is parallel to BC, no DC, sorry. I made a mistake while typing. AB is parallel to DC, children. AB is parallel to BC. Yeah. Find the measure of angle C. Find the measure of angle C. This is parallel to this. Find the measure of angle C. Yes, Swati? Let's ask Kritika. Kritika, what's the measure of angle C?
Ma'am,
What's the measure of angle C? Okay, I think you have some audio issues. No problem. Mic issues. No problem. Swati, what's the measure of angle C?
degrees, ma'am. 60 degrees, ma'am.
60 degrees. 60 degrees. Because they're co-interior angles and they're supplementary, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Because this is parallel line, transversal, parallel line. Co-interior angles are supplementary. So C is 60 degrees. Kritika, all these answers were already shared with the students. They've already written all this in their notebook. So that's why I'm not giving time to write. Otherwise, normally we understand the answer and we write in the class. But these had already shared, these answers were already shared with the students. So they already have these answers in their notebook, which is why we are not writing during the class. I'll share these pictures with you later. Yeah, I'll share these pictures with you later. Yeah. Yeah. How do you read this? Who can tell me? How do you read this? Read this for me.
Side SP is parallel to side RQ.
No.
Does it indicate vertical?
Huh?
Ma'am, does it indicate vertical?
But okay, what have you learned when you were in 6th standard? You must have learned all this, no? What does this mean? When I write this, how do you read this?
Ma'am, a ray.
Ray AB. Ray AB. How do you read this?
Line segment AB.
Oh, line segment extends indefinitely on both the sides. Like, see here, it extends indefinitely on both the sides. What is this?
It's a line.
Line AB. Line. It's a line. It's not line segment. Line AB. Now, what is this? It ends. It starts here, it ends here. What is this? Hmm.
Line AB.
Line segment AB. What is the difference between a line and a line segment? A line has no endpoints. It extends indefinitely on either sides. A line has definite endpoints. It has a starting point and an end point. So you know the length. You can measure the length of a line segment. Yes or no?
Yes.
Line segment AB. Ray AB, ray AB, line AB. This is also line AB. This is also line AB. This is line segment AB. So line segment SP is parallel to the lines. See, now you will ask me where are the dots? Like you can't find, actually they are there, but you cannot see it very clearly. The dots are there. But it's not clearly visible, that's all. So line segment, you said SP is parallel to RQ, that's fine. But the symbol here represents line segment SP parallel to line segment RQ. So line segment SP parallel to line segment RQ. All right. Line segment, it indicates line segment. 1 minute, children. There's somebody at the door. I'll just answer the doorbell and come back. Yeah, thank you, children. We'll resume. Yeah. So if line segment SP is parallel to line segment RQ, find P and S, angle P and angle S. P and S. This is parallel to this. Yeah, who wants to try this?
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah, please. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, P and Q are co-interior angles, ma'am.
P and Q. Name the transversal. That is very important. You should know, you should identify the transversal and the parallel lines.
Ma'am, R and Q are transversal.
Q. R and R means you're representing you're talking about a point. R and Q. No.
P and PQ is the transversal, ma'am.
Sorry?
Ma'am, PQ is the transversal, ma'am.
PQ is a transversal. PQ. PQ is a transversal. And which are the parallel lines?
Ma'am, the parallel lines are SP and RQ, ma'am.
SP and RQ. These are the parallel lines. These are the parallel lines. So these are the parallel lines. Parallel lines can produce them. And this is the transversal. This is the transversal. So co-interior angles are supplementary. Co-interior angles are supplementary. Here, there's one line like this. There's another line like this. Just produce it. Produce them. And the transversal. So you can see P here. This is Q. And somewhere here S. These angles. They're co-interior angles. So how much is P?
50 degrees.
50 degrees.
50 degrees. P is 50 degrees. Now for the other one, identify the transversal, Bhavishya, to find S, which is the transversal. Swati, which is the transversal?
Ma'am, for the parallel line SP and RQ, the transversal is SR, ma'am.
SR is a transversal. SR is a transversal. SR is a transversal. And the parallel lines are the same thing, PS and RQ. Produce them like this. So you can see here, transversal, parallel line, parallel line. On the same side of the transversal, we have two interior angles. On the same side, we have two interior angles. They are co-interior angles. They are supplementary. So what's the measure of S?
90 degrees, ma'am.
90 degrees. Now, how much was this one? 50, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How else can you find S? How else can you find S? Now, we did using the property that co-interior angles are supplementary. How else can you find angle S?
Ma'am, R and S are co-interior angle, ma'am. So 90 plus S is equal to 180 degree. Angle S is equal to 90 degree, ma'am.
Yeah, that is what we discuss now. That is what we discuss now. How else can you find? Yeah, think. Very simple answer. It's a very simple question. How else can you find the angle? Okay, let me ask you like this. How else can you find the fourth angle of the quadrilateral?
Ma'am, all the angles in the quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees.
Yeah, angle sum property of a quadrilateral. So you can also find angle S using the angle sum property of a quadrilateral. The sum of all the four angles in any quadrilateral, whether it's a parallelogram, kite, rhombus, rectangle, square, whatever be the parallelogram, sorry, quadrilateral. In a quadrilateral, the sum of the four interior angles is equal to 360 degrees. Angle sum property, like we say angle sum property of a triangle, this is of a quadrilateral. So you know three angles, 90, 130 and 50. So you can find the fourth angle by using the angle sum property. Okay, well, I have not done it like that. I'm just telling you that you can also do this. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now Bhavisha, tell me the parallel lines here. For 130 plus P is equal to 180.
Ma'am, P.
Which are the parallel lines?
Ma'am, like SP and RQ.
Yeah, SP and SP is parallel to RQ, and which is the transversal?
Ma'am, P and R, ma'am.
What do you mean by P and R? P and P and
Ma'am, PR is the transversal.
how PR is a transversal? No, I want you to understand this by yourself, Bhavisha. Yes, Swati, tell me the transversal.
And PQ is the transversal.
PQ is a transversal. PQ is a transversal. Then 130 plus P is 180. Yeah. Now, Bhavisha, try this. Angle R plus angle S is 180. Which are the parallel lines? Yes, Bhavisha. Which are the parallel lines?
Ma'am, PQ and SR.
No, they are not parallel. Where is it given that they are parallel? And do they even look parallel? See here, if you produce them, they'll meet.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, if you produce, they'll meet. They're not parallel. So work on this, Bhavishya. I want you to help yourself. I can teach you, but I think, having got the introduction to parallel lines, cut by transversal, we understood alternate, corresponding, so many different things we understood. After all this, if you have struggled with this, I want you to think. I can tell you. That's my duty. I can just tell you. But I think if you try to find it out yourself, you will feel a sense of achievement, which will make you feel nice.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, when you understand yourself, that gives you a very nice feeling. You will think better about yourself. You will feel very hopeful that you can think and get answers. So I just want you to have that feeling. So please do it yourself. Yes, Swati, tell me, which are the parallel lines?
Parallel lines are SP and RQ, ma'am.
SP is parallel to RQ, and which is the transversal?
PQ is the transversal, ma'am.
Swati, not PQ for this one.
SR is the transversal, ma'am.
SR, yeah, SR or RS, whatever. RS is the transversal. All right, so co-interior answer supplementary, and that's how we get S is 90 degrees. Very good. Yeah. Draw a quadrilateral that is not a parallelogram, but has a pair of opposite angles equal. Look at this. Because why is the question given like this? Because we know that in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. We know that in a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. That's why the question is, draw a quadrilateral that is not a parallelogram, but it should have one pair of opposite angles equal. Because in a parallelogram, both the pairs of opposite angles are equal. So you must draw a quadrilateral that's not a parallelogram, but it should have one pair of opposite angles equal. So we have seen the properties of a kite. We know that in a kite, one pair of opposite angles. So you can draw the kite like this. Okay. In a kite, one pair of opposite angles is equal. This angle is equal to this angle. Or you can also draw the kite like you can also draw the kite like this. Sorry, it shouldn't be jet. Okay. Okay, I hope you understand. So these two angles are equal. These two angles are equal. So the answer for this is a kite. A kite. A quadrilateral that's not a parallelogram, but has one pair of opposite angles equal is a kite. It's a kite. Yeah. All right, children.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
And for that question, we also have a rectangle.
Also draw a rectangle, is it? But a rectangle is a parallelogram. You know what? All these are parallelograms. Okay, so parallelograms are of three types. Rhombus, rectangle, square. All these three are parallelograms. A square is a parallelogram. A rectangle is a parallelogram. A rhombus is a parallelogram. Because in all these figures, because what's the definition of a parallelogram? You can call a figure a parallelogram if both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. That's the definition of a parallelogram. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So any quadrilateral where both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel is a parallelogram. Further, the special name is a square because it has some other exclusive properties other than that of a parallelogram. So it's a square. So why do we now this one is a square? It's also a parallelogram. How can we call a square parallelogram? Because both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So it is a parallelogram. It is a parallelogram. This one is a parallelogram. But since it has more special properties than that of a parallelogram, it's called a square. Rectangle. A rectangle is a parallelogram because these two sides, correct? No, they're parallel. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is a parallelogram. Yeah, it has more further special properties. So it's a rectangle. A rhombus is also a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel. This one is parallel to this one. This is parallel to this. So any quadrilateral in which both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel is a parallelogram. A square is a parallelogram, a rectangle is a parallelogram, a rhombus is a parallelogram because in all these figures, both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. You cannot call a parallelogram a square. A parallelogram is a parallelogram. Every square is a parallelogram. Every parallelogram need not be a square. Every rectangle is a parallelogram, but all parallelograms are not rectangles. Every rhombus is a parallelogram, but every parallelogram is not a rhombus. So we cannot draw rhombus, rectangle, or square here because all of them are parallelograms. You can draw a trapezium because it's not a parallelogram. You can draw a trapezium, but in a trapezium, opposite angles are not equal. In a trapezium, opposite angles are not equal. So you have to draw a kite. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good. Yeah. Next question. How many we have? 19. Oh. Oh my. Oh. All right. Yes, children. 16th one. Yeah, tell me, in a quadrilateral ABCD, angle A is 60 degrees and C is 70. Is it a parallelogram?
No, ma'am, it is not a parallelogram, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, because in A is a parallelogram, it is opposite angles are equal, ma'am. In that A is not equal to C, ma'am. So it is not parallelogram.
Yeah. In quadrilateral ABCD, adjacent angles are these. Adjacent angles are A and B, B and C, C and D, A and D. These are adjacent angles. Opposite angles are A and C, B and D. That's all. Only 2 pairs of opposite angles, 4 pairs of adjacent angles. Adjacent angles, 4 pairs. Opposite angles, only 2 pairs, AC, BD. And as Bhavishya rightly said, opposite angles are not equal. Here, A and C are opposite angles, but they're not equal. So it's not a parallelogram. It's a quadrilateral, but it's not a parallelogram. Correct. In a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. Here, A is not equal to C, so it's not a parallelogram. Okay, next. Is it a parallelogram? You can just make a rough figure, just draw a quadrilateral like this. You don't mind. It's a rough work. So you can just draw something like this. Mark, or if you're very particular, just take some random shape like this. A, B, C, D. Yeah, you should name it in the correct order, children. See, you cannot name it like, you cannot A, B, you cannot mark C here and D like this. You must go in the clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. If you mark A, B here, then C should be here only and D should be here. You cannot mark A, B like this and mark C, D here like this. You must go in the clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. So A, B, C, D like this. A, B, C, D 7, A, B 7, C, D 7, B, C is 4, and A, D is 4.5. Yes, children, is this a parallelogram?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am, it
Why?
is not a parallelogram.
Why?
Because
Ma'am, in that
from the opposite sides should be the BC and AD are opposite sides, ma'am, but their measures are unequal, so it does not form a parallelogram.
Correct. Very good. Very good. In a parallelogram, both pairs of opposite sides are equal. Here, AB is equal to CD, but BC is not equal to AD. So ABCD is not a parallelogram. You can just do a rough work. You can draw this diagram in the rough column, and then you can write this theory. Okay, next. In a quadrilateral ABCD, angle A plus angle C is 180. Is it a parallelogram? In a quadrilateral ABCD, A plus C, this angle plus this angle is 180. Is it a parallelogram?
Yes, ma'am, it's a parallelogram, ma'am, because in a rectangle, the opposite sides, they add up to 180 degrees, ma'am.
But that's only one pair, no? You don't know about the other pair.
ma'am, it will not be a parallelogram, ma'am, but it is a trapezium.
Okay.
Okay, let's just assume this, okay? Say like this. This angle is 70. This is 110. And this one is, say, some 60 and 120. Okay, for example. Now the opposite sides are opposite angles are supplementary, right?
Yes,
Is it a
ma'am.
parallelogram? So you cannot say, with this information, you cannot conclude it's a parallelogram. That's what you should answer. With the given information, now I'll tell you like this. Now, I'll tell you, An animal has whiskers. An animal has whiskers. Name the animal. Yes or no? You got my question?
Yes, ma'am.
Children, please, make sure your audio is clear, please, because uninterrupted interaction is very important for
Ma'am,
you to enjoy the class. Yeah.
ma'am, the animal which has whiskers is cat and tiger.
Yeah, anything that belongs to the cat family, correct? Leopard,
Yes,
cheetah,
ma'am.
tiger, lion. All animals that belong to the cat family have whiskers. Correct? So now I'm telling,
Yes.
guess the animal. It has whiskers. Guess the animal. How can you guess the animal? It can be a cat. It can be, a cheetah. It can be a leopard. It can be a tiger. How can you guess with this? So my question is, the animal has whiskers. Is it a cheetah? It can be a cat also. It may be a cheetah, but you can't say it is. It can be a cat. Yes or no? So like that, in the quadrilateral, A plus C is 180. Okay. But with that, you cannot say it's a parallelogram. Because see here, you can see here, opposite angles are supplementary. 110 plus 70 is 180. They're supplementary. They're not equal. They're not equal. Then how can it be a parallelogram? Correct, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that's what see here. ABCD may or may not be a parallelogram. Okay, this is just for you to, is it a parallelogram? That's all. I'll take away this. This one also, actually, it's not A plus B. Children, somebody's come home to meet me. I'm so sorry. We'll just talk about this in the next class. Now, this one is fine. The ABCD may or may not be a parallelogram. That's it. All right. ABCD may or may not be a parallelogram. Is it understood clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, like, the animal has whiskers. Is it a cheetah? So you will say it may or may not be a cheetah because it can be a cat, it can be a tiger, it may be a cheetah, but may not also. Like that, ABCD may or may not be a parallelogram. Yeah, we'll just wind up today's session with this one, children. Two adjacent angles of a parallelogram are in the ratio 2:1. Find all the angles. Any two adjacent angles, okay? So just draw a parallelogram. Just draw a parallelogram. Any two adjacent angles, okay? So 2:1. This is, so this angle is 2x, this angle is x. Adjacent angles. So 2x and x. If this is 2x, this is also 2x, correct? If this is x, this is also x, correct?
Yes,
Opposite
ma'am.
angles are equal. Yeah. Now we'll use the property. Adjacent angles are supplementary. So 2x plus x is equal to 180. 3x is 180. X is equal to 60. That means 2x is equal to 120. So find all the angles. A, B, C, D. So angle A is equal to 120 degrees. C is also 120. B is 60. D is also 60. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. All right, children. Yeah, I know I'm leaving you a little early. I started 10 minutes late, so I normally teach till 9:55, but there's somebody at home, so I just have to attend them. So, sorry. All right, children, I hope you don't mind. Maybe next class I'll compensate for the 10 minutes. All right, children, so that's it for today's session. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.